Last week on Wandering Monster, our Grove of Druids slayed an entire town of warlock corrupted workers, flinging them into the swamp, summoning an army of rats, and becoming Pac-Man-esque in their efforts. Now they head off into the unknown, surrounded by corrupted litter bugs and terrifying madmen with too much power. Will they survive? Will they cleanse the swamp of this evil? Find out now on Wandering Monster. Roll Initiative!
Y'all board the fan boat, leaving behind you the wailing of despair from the little corporate town, the company lodgings and store that you left behind you.
I don't know what they're complaining about. We brought them a whole new wave of residents.
The rats, you mean?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fair. Or are you referring to the spores you've left behind?
Yeah, both those two. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a little bit of both on that.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yes. They are complaining because they're just so overwhelmed with joy that they're crying. Also Black Lung. You are moving through the water. You can hear the
banjos?
No banjo. Actually, disturbingly, no banjos. Also, no cicadas, crickets, owls, other birds. The sounds of nature are not happening.
Yeah.
And as you go further north, you see oil rigs pumping all throughout the water, and the oil just kind of seeping from the ground into the water. You're not sure if this is they're not being very careful, or is they've just pour it into the water and then we'll separate them in a centrifuge later sort of a detail, because you know that this operation is being run by a warlock. You know that this is purposeful destruction of the environment.
Yeah.
So there's a few things to keep in mind right now. The first is that you are moving pretty slowly. The fan boat can only go so fast through oil.
Right.
It's nice and lubed up, but it's much thicker than water, so it's having trouble cutting through. The other thing is you can't hear shit, actually. I mentioned that the sounds of nature are missing. You don't know that because all you can hear is the
I was going to point that out. Yeah. But I didn't want to backseat drive. But yeah, those things are loud as fuck.
Yeah, it's super loud.
Speaking of which, who's driving?
Not me.
That's a good question.
I'd have to form a pseudopod to do that, and I'm recovering all of my my moldiness, my fungal power.
I will drive. I am an excellent driver.
To Derek, are you actually an excellent driver?
The fan boat hovers. I hover. This just makes sense.
I'm sorry, who hovers?
Shit.
Derek hovers.
Derek.
She forgot about the rules to Derek. So Derek always hovers.
Okay, thank you to Derek.
With that
Derek is the best one to drive because in case he fucks up, he can probably keep us from crashing into something by sending it elsewhere.
And if we need
He's also the only one that has both hands and is old enough to have a driver's license.
Exactly.
And if we need a speed boost, I just create a massive gravity well in front of the boat, pulling us faster.
Mm-hmm.
I don't immediately have to do it unless we want to go environmentally friendly and turn off the fan.
And then you could just float it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I've never thought, but those fans do use gasoline. Those dumb fucking fans. Dumb fucking fan boats. Yeah.
On that note, so here's what I'm asking. how are you guys keeping an eye out for danger?
Oh,
Or are you doing anything else during this boat ride? It's going to take you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to take you about an hour. And we're going to. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say I'm going to use this time period to soak up some solar radiation. Just photosynthesizing if I can. The parts of me that can photosynthesize will do so.
Okay.
I'm pretty diverse at this point.
So I know in our real world, rats and bats are not the same animal.
Yeah, no, that you are correct with that.
But we are playing in a world where we can control elements of nature. We happen to have a companion here that can control rats. Can he also control rats with wings that can spy for us?
That's
right. I thought I would ask. I knew it was a stretch going into this. Thank you for your time.
But like you said on the first episode, there's no mammals whatsoever. So that's where my concern was about like gathering a swarm and then realize I can just make my own. I figured that Ratthew would be at the bow of the boat, kind of navigating, keeping an eye out what's going on. Kind of pointing to certain directions to avoid whatever the map says that we got from Tony.
Yeah. I'm sorry, did you just check your notes?
Notes, dog.
I'm deeply ashamed.
I am so turned on right now.
I'm deeply ashamed. I've never taken a note in a session in my life.
They're not good. I'll tell you that.
My notes aren't even words.
Friends, we're doing the best we can.
That's right.
It's all good. I love it.
So I'm still smiling at the our rats bats thing. Having established that rats
in
are
world,
not bats,
not in raw world, in this world that we're playing in.
Having established that rats are not bats, are rats bats?
They are now.
So Ratthew, you're on the bow, keeping an eye out on everything. Schlorp, you are sunning your yoni.
Mm-hmm.
Just legs in the air, perineum pointed at the rising sun, because I believe it was sunrise when you set off on this adventure.
Yeah,
best time to do it.
And that's
activates
probably
the chakra.
Actually true.
Yeah.
Because let me let you know, if you're trying to do that in the middle of the day here in Texas, you will bake your perineum, your grundle right off.
Mm-hmm.
Your bonch, as I recently heard it called.
Your bonch.
I hate that so much. God, fuck you. And to Derek, are you just fully concentrating on driving?
Yeah, just driving, using my gravity power, or to Derek's gravity powers to work the lever that controls the direction of the fan, and just slightly using his gravity to move the boat a little faster. Not trying to show off, just we're there. We're just
okay. Go ahead and make me a environmental roll. That's your badass plus your environmental method. For those of you tuning in who haven't watched the rest, you have a badass score, which acts as your kind of do anything stat, as well as your life. And then you have sorcery, which sets a theme, and then you have 4 methods within that sorcery for how you use your magic. It is magic for yourself, magic for other people, environmental magic, and summoning magic, where you create something from nothing. Okay, what'd you do, bud?
I have 2 successes.
Okay, cool. I just need to make sure you didn't immediately crash this into a gravity well and kill everyone. That's all I was I was checking, my dude.
Fair.
Yeah, you're fine. You're not going to get there much faster. I mentioned that it was going to take about 50 minutes to cross this area, and we are going to do that in real time. So, no. I thank you for chuckling. I was going to wait until I got a laugh, and I was really scared for a minute. We were just going to sit here for an hour.
No, I wanted to give it a minute. Yeah.
Okay, let's do some random rolls.
Let's do that.
Let's see who. Let's see. I'm going to go round robin. Charles, give me even or odd.
Even.
Okay, cool. Ratthew,
Yes.
even or odd?
Odd.
I need a die that I can see. Where are my like fucking glowy dice that I can see from across a place? My blind eyes. Son of a bitch. Okay, Mr. Paschke.
So we did even, odd. Oh, odd.
Okay.
Okay, I think I made the wrong call.
Charles,
Yeah.
even or odd?
You already asked me, and I said
This is your second one.
Odd this time.
All right. Okay, and that was 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Kevin, last one.
We'll go even.
Just being contrarian. Okay, cool. That was really, really good for y'all.
Hooray.
For the most part.
Oh.
You hear the hear the sound of rolling dice on the horizon. which is how my college GM would let me know shit was about to get real. You guys travel for about half an hour. This is pretty painless for you, honestly. Even before you signed your pacts or entered your pacts with your various Vatir or Rudin or Loa, whatever you refer to, the spirit that has empowered you. Even before then, you were kind of used to solitude, silence, and being alone with your thoughts. So I imagine even with the three of you traveling together, you were probably kind of just silently sitting there. So you didn't have to try to have a shouted conversation over the fan.
Yeah.
After about half an hour, Ratthew, go ahead and make me a badass roll.
Okay.
Just badass.
It's a 3 and a 5. I'm sorry,
Okay.
4 and a 5. 4 and a 5. I'm sorry.
Okay, 2 successes. Cool. Okay. You see something moving in the oil slick water ahead. Now, the sun is coming up, so the water is misting. It's foggy AF, but you can just sort of see movement through it. The other thing, and this is kind of a weird juxtaposition, the sheen of the oil on top of the water getting hit by the rising sun through the mist is creating this like kaleidoscope of rainbow and beautiful color everywhere. But that light hurts your eyes, all three of you, because it's so deeply unnatural. You can feel it almost suppressing your supernatural abilities. You can feel it kind of worm its way into your head and corrupt you. It occurs to you that it's possible that being in this light every day is what's turning these people into monsters. And by monsters, of course, I mean, humans.
Right.
But through all of this, squinting against the painful light, you do see some movement in the water ahead of you. It is really difficult to tell how big or how what it is, but there was something. You can't hear shit over the fan.
Right.
Well, I'm gonna scrape my moldy ass together for one thing and kind of reform myself into a humanoid configuration.
I would like to use my gravity well in front of us and turn off the fan.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. You keep moving at about half speed. But it's suddenly like deathly silent. You hear the Schlorp. No, I can't say Schlorp because that's one of your names.
That's my name. Don't use it onomatopoeically.
I did do some Schlorping earlier, and oh no. You hear the burps of things like going in and out of the water. You know that it's litter bugs. For those of you who have just joining us, litter bugs are animals and garbage that have been possessed by malevolent spirits and animated that live in terribly corrupted places. But you can't see anything at the moment unless y'all are going to try to do anything else to get a better view.
Nah.
I think we should just keep going.
I could levitate the boat up.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Does anyone want to see what else is out there? And just Derek lifts his arms and looks upwards as the boat starts to lift up with everyone in it.
Okay.
Ooh.
You know what I'm going to ask you to do?
Roll 20 dice and hope for only one success.
I was going to say roll an environmental check, my friend.
All right.
I do like the cut of your jib, though.
Success. Threes are not successes, or are they successes?
They are not. 4, 5, and 6.
If I add the 3 with my other dice that failed, I would have a success, but I don't.
0 success?
No, 2 success.
Okay, 2 successes. All right. So I'm going to give you a choice here. You can either go up or go forward.
I would go up.
Okay. You guys feel a very small lurch as the boat kind of halts its forward progress. Well, it doesn't halt it. It still has a little bit of momentum as it moves, a few inches forward, but then it moves up.
Cool.
Now, Ratthew,
Yes.
unlike Schlorp and to Derek, you've probably been living in human society.
Yes.
Even if you're not partaking in human society, you've been in it. Considering to Ratthew's age, what do you think Ratthew would say if I said, "What rises from the water doesn't want none"?
Sounds like whatever's rising from the water's going to get some.
All I'm saying is, do any of you guys have bread products on you?
Bread products?
Yeah, but specifically buns.
No.
I see where you're going. I don't like where you're going with this. Not happy about it.
You know where I'm going with this.
Are we going to fight a giant duck?
Yes. No.
Okay.
But if we had Dawn dish soap, we can clean all the oil off and it could fly away.
Nicki Minaj rises from the water. No. A serpent is what I will probably politely call it. A serpent comprised of old steel spring and corroded metal rises from the water. Surprisingly, it's kind of like you would expect this screeching of metal on metal and horrifying noise. Everything's really lubed really nicely, though.
Yeah.
So there's none of that, but it is pretty obvious that this thing is just like Tetanus City, right? This massive coiling serpent rears its head back and opens its jaws, and no sound comes out. But it's obviously, like, if this was a real serpent, it would be hissing. You see a tail easily the length of a city bus rise out of the water, and it's, shaking its in some kind of warning. But everything is silent, and it's deeply upsetting. On an intrinsic level, nature is noisy. Animals hiss to warn you or rattle to warn you. They make noise, unless they're ambushing you. This thing's not ambushing you, but it is clearly aggressive, and it's silent. And it is easily large enough to fuck with you. And you are not out of range.
How far are we away from like the shore? Are we
you are at least 30 minutes from reaching any shore.
Gotcha.
It's possible. There is possible that there is some sort of island in the middle of the swamp that might be closer, but not really. Actually, looking at the map, you're about 2.5 to 3 hexes from any other spot. Each of those hexes takes 10 minutes to cross, so you're in a danger zone. Highway to the snaky zone. That's what's up.
Yeah, well, Rathew's dropping little pellets in the boat at the moment.
Nice. Oh shit! I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Ratthew's probably terrified of this thing.
Very much so. Shit. So, this is fucking scary, guys. Help.
Let's see. So this thing is attacking us right now.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
it is. I was gonna say we haven't rolled initiative yet, but it is like that is the next thing that's going to happen.
Okay, cool. All right, we'll do our best and see what happens.
Right. So roll initiative, everyone.
We're currently levitating.
There's the wandering monster motto. We'll do our best and see what happens.
Sorry. Allow me to do this properly. As you try to get your bearings, this massive serpent, reminiscent of Jormungandr, if Jormungandr was coated in vile, corroded metal and oil dripping from its fangs, which are easily the size of any of your arms.
Cool.
It rears back and lets out a silent roar. You can't hear anything, but you feel it in your bones. Those of you who have bones. Schlorp, your entire body kind of jiggles from the...
I still have bones, remember? I fed them my flesh. True. Yeah, and it's funny you should say that, but we'll wait for combat to find out what's up with my bones.
This thing lets out this roar that you feel in all of your bones, and there's only one thing that you can do now, and that's roll initiative. There we go.
Who wants to do it?
Everybody does though.
Everyone does.
Oh,
D6, right?
Yes, it's D6 plus your badass.
I'm gonna roll my Charles Bernard size D6 for this one. That's 3. Charles,
my
I'm never
total is
using my
8.
big die again.
Yeah.
See this? Your
Sorry,
fault.
Charles. Your Schlorp, you're 8.
Yep.
I got 7.
All right, and to Derek.
3 because I used my big die.
What? So you rolled a 1?
I rolled a 1. Yeah.
Okay. To Derek. 3. Okay. And I don't know why I wrote Manaconda here, because this thing is not a Manaconda.
I'm like 95% sure that's a sci-fi original movie or a porno movie, or maybe both. I don't know.
It's the porno remake of the Sci-Fi Channel original movie.
Ah, yes. Okay. Yeah,
Either way, it's on my queue.
Yeah. Oh, great. Cool.
Okay.
Free on Amazon Prime.
This is a side note for those of you who watch this because you want to run this game. While we were rolling initiative, I statted out this monster. I gave it a badass of 3, which makes it a pretty beefy beast.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's its pain point. That's what they have to roll better than 3 successes or better to do any damage whatsoever, which can be difficult in this game. It only has 2 hit points, and that's because I don't want them to have to fight this thing for an hour. They only really need to get 2 good hits in to kill it. But as we're going to see, that can be difficult. I also gave it a special ability that these guys wouldn't know about if we were playing this game in a setting where I was playing things close to my vest.
Should we take our headphones off?
No.
I
just wrote bite equals -2, which means when it bites them, it's going to poison them and give them a -2 on their next roll, which again is super, super painful. And that's on top of whatever damage it does. So this is a really, really serious fight. But those 3 bits of information are the only things I needed to create this encounter. So it's really lightning fast to get started, especially if you don't explain all that mid-combat. Okay, Schlorp, you're actually first.
Oh, goody. So, I have a bone to pick with human bones. I've broken many of them in my life, and that shit sucks. And they're highly imperfect. Did you know they're hollow and full of delicious meaty stuff?
I did.
That's totally not useful. It's just in there like cream filling. They're porous. They're like, lightweight comparatively. I'd like to change all that. So I had a conversation with the great gray of the mold, and to the mold I said, I give you my bones. Please, mold, make me powerful as you, as infinitely powerful, hard, and difficult to scrub out as your almighty presence. And I summon mold into my bones to eat the delicious marrow, to suck the oxygen that's in the air pockets inside of all my bones, and to use all of that nutrition to fortify themselves and fill my bones with a substance made of mold that is harder than marrow, and to reinforce the hollow spots with similar hardened. Basically, I want to make my bones like as hard as concrete using mold. And okay, cool. And I offer my bones to the mold, and we're gonna see how that goes.
Okay.
And that's the last scrap of my humanity, actually.
So what I'd like you to do, Charles, is I'd like you to attach this use of your power to an action. Okay. It's a very so I'm going to give you a point of I'm going to give you a point of badass.
Itself.
But yeah, it is. Well, hold on. It's going to be a self roll. I'm giving you a point of badass because I love this. So add a point of badass. But in a lot of our previous encounters, you've used a couple of turns to kind of buff yourself up, and then combat was over before you got to do something.
You want me to actually attack with that? Cool.
I'd like you to. So one of the things in the badass system you can do is you can string together a bunch of actions with one roll.
That's true.
You don't have to say, I do this, and then next turn I'll do this. You can say, okay, I'm going to do this. A good example is Stabberger. He launched himself off the edge of a truck, used a grappling hook to catch a Zeppelin, threw the bike using his legs at a Nazi on the ground as he ziplined up to the Zeppelin. And it was one action. Right.
Cool. All right.
So yeah. So do something with that.
Then I have another question about Yoramonger of the Springs. Does it have a throat?
I mean, it's a snake. It's almost all throat. It has head, throat, and then butt.
Yeah. I'm going in that throat, John, and I'm going in hard as a rock, straight down that throat.
So
I'm jamming myself rock hard straight down that throat.
So you're jumping into his mouth.
Yeah.
Or launching yourself into his mouth using
launching myself like a concrete Schlorp sized cannonball into his throat. Yep.
I love it. So okay, it's a self roll. Mm-hmm. What's your current badass?
4 with the buff you just gave me.
4. And what's your self?
3.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
All right, cool. Okay.
All right, let's see. That's not good. Also not good.
Oh no.
Fuck, man.
Oh no.
I just got it. That's only one success. 7 fucking rolls. How is that statistically possible? I'd put you in dice jail if I had other D6s, you fucking evil dice.
I both love and hate when that happens. Because it's always like, I'm going to do this super cool thing, and actually, I'm going to be a bitch.
Do I get et?
So here's the thing. You guys watch as Schlorp, like, and you see like his bones aren't really all that visible usually because, mold isn't all transparent. He's slimy, but you can see his bones. They're like glow, like they're bioluminescing out of his skin, and you see Schlorp kind of laugh, this maniacal, like, grin on his face. And his whole mask goes up and then slams down onto the boat, rocking it violently and launching him forward at the serpent. Schlorp, you go in that mouth, and you realize pretty quickly that if this thing was a living creature, boy howdy, this would have been a really, really cool move.
Yeah.
But instead, you are surrounded by machinery and metal, and it is even harder than concrete, and it is now tightening around you. So lose a point of badass, gain a point of ire. And having done that, you see the serpent, like its eyes, which are made up of skylights, kind of the metal around it kind of widens and then narrows, and it Schlorp, make me a defense roll. You can include yourself in that defense roll because you're still rock hard.
All right.
You just wanted me to say that.
You betcha. 4s are successes, right?
Yes, sir.
Off to a good start. I'm already past the pinpoint. Yep.
Keep going.
Okay,
unless you're out of dice.
I think I'm out of dice, but that was
okay.
4 successes.
Oh, perfect.
Nice.
Cool. That's fantastic for you. The serpent looks surprised, and you outside of the snake, You see this thing rear up, turn, and then slam itself down onto the water as hard as it can in an attempt to crush the thing inside of it. Schlorp, you see the metal just under you compress and crunch and force you shooting out of its mouth.
Nice.
It hurt itself essentially.
Cool.
Beautiful.
As it tried to dislodge you violently, thinking it would kill you, and instead did some pretty gnarly damage to itself. So there you have it. Ratthew, it is now your turn.
All right, so Ratthew is standing at the bow of the boat, completely terrified. Rocco is on his shoulder. Sees his moldy compatriot calcify, harden, whatever, shoot himself in the mouth and get projected out. As he's seeing this happen, and has Rocco on his shoulder, he sees that Rocco's tail is kind of bent, like it's been broken, because it got caught in like a rat trap, like one of the old spring-loaded ones.
Sure.
Thought sparks in his head. It's like, well, what if I can make a larger trap like that? So what he wants to do, and I don't know if this is going to be feasible or not, but he would like to summon the mangrove roots from the bottom of the swamp to come up, form a trap, or form like the square part of the mouse trap, and come down on the mecha snake's head to pin it down after Schlorp's been projectiled out.
Dislodge, yeah. You wanna rat trap it.
Exactly. I want to pin it down so that we could possibly get away.
You're making a big rat trap out of the swamp itself.
Yes.
Okay. I really like this, so I'm going to give you a point of badass.
Huzzah.
But I'm going to tell you this is going to be a really difficult use of sorcery, right?
Okay.
Because you're using items that are not actually rat-centric. You're doing a rat-themed thing, but
right. That's why I kind of felt it was a stretch, but I mean, it's
no. I'm gonna allow it. It's just going to be much harder for you.
Okay.
There's a special rule here. 1 second. There we are.
It says I win. Hooray.
Okay. Schlorp, you are not in the boat right now. You're in the swamp.
I'm on the
water.
ground. Cool.
You're in the water, which means you have a -1 penalty on all sorcery rolls until you get out of the water.
All right.
There we go. That was a special roll I was looking for. But okay, Ratthew, go ahead and make your I'm gonna say it's an environmental roll.
Okay.
Because you're using mangroves that are there, you're just warping them.
Okay. I will go with that.
And remember to raise your badass 1 point when you roll.
I did.
Okay, cool.
Got 1 success.
That's definitely not gonna cut it.
Does not seem like it.
So what happens is you reach into the swamp with your magic, with your willpower, and within seconds you feel the scrape of corruption against your brain. This swamp has been so twisted by the oil executives and by the destruction of the environment that it's no longer, like, the swamp itself is no longer a natural thing.
Okay.
And the psychic backlash just knocks you right on your ass. And yeah, that is what hurts you.
Okay. So do I take a point of badass away and then grab a point of ire? Okay.
Point of ire, that's correct.
Got it.
To Derek. It's your time to shine, buddy.
To Derek has decided that now is the time
to shine.
Precisely. For what shines brightest but the sun? What is the sun but a massive gravity well in our solar system? To Derek would like to make a massive gravity well around the head of the snake, compressing all of its body and all of the oil coming off of it into one central point, causing it to combust into a little miniature star.
Okay. This will be a other roll.
Okay.
And you know what, dude? That's rad too. I'm giving you a point of badass for everybody.
All right.
Not again. No, not everyone else gets another point of badass. You all got your 1 point.
That
Derek, add a point before you roll.
Okay, so that makes it a 4 dice. Stars are a part of nature, and I feel like it should be environment.
It would be if you were manipulating a star.
But I would be once it was done.
Does make a valid point.
So let's move on to someone else's turn, okay? Let's not dwell on anything else over here. Let's just hey, look, Charles is bent over. What's going on, buddy?
I'm doing some Googling that'll hopefully John won't be like, you can't do that because this is magic this time.
I'm well known for telling people no. Now I'm really curious. So, okay, to Derek, you know the drill.
I did not get a single success. That was a flat.
No, that's a botch.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
All right, lose your badass, gain ire, and you have a negative penalty to your next roll of 1.
All right. I will make a note of that on my character sheet.
Oh, sheesh.
We're doing great,
all right.
guys.
Schlorp, did you finish your Googling?
I did.
All right, what are you trying to do this time?
Well, I found a friend
you messy bitch.
Yeah, I found a friend to go with our old friend TSTH 20-1 from last time or time before last. This little fellow's name is good God. Alaromyces. There you go. Flavus, I can say. Alaromyces flavus. And what Alaromyces flavus does is it eats iron using naturally secreted acid to break down the metal and eat it. So
that's pretty neat.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. So the snake would eat me. I would like to use my other roll. No, actually, I would like to use my summon roll, and I would like to just make it rain on this bitch. And what I want to make it rain on this bitch is Alaromyces flavus. Yeah, I'm gonna just basically destroy all metal.
Okay.
Well, all iron anyway, which the snake being rusted would have to be.
Yep. That's true. Yeah, that's pretty neat. I see why you were concerned though. I get that. I get like you're saying like, oh, I might say the snake is too magic and therefore you can't do it.
Yep.
All right. Man, roll.
All right, let's see
roll your summony goodness.
Yeah, so that's 5 total with a -1 penalty. That's 2 successes. We'll just call that 1 success. 2 successes. 3 successes. Does meat beat?
Meat does not beat.
Ah, bummer.
Okay, so when you tie, you get to make a choice.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to fail but lose a point of badass?
Mm-hmm.
Or succeed? Wait. If you fail, you gain ire but don't lose any badass. There we go. I knew it's something dumb. Or you can succeed but lose a point of badass, don't get a point of ire. Basically, it's kind of the opposite of what normally happens.
I'll take the success and the point of badass loss. Hopefully, I can make up for it later.
All right.
All right.
So with that in mind, what happens is, how does this go down? I've not thought about what to do when someone eats my monster. That's not true. I am always thinking about what happens when you eat monsters, but usually it's more like an erotic thing. So, after after a moment, and I use moment very lightly because rounds are only like 6 seconds. After a moment, the swamp kind of comes alive. And I don't mean the water in this case. What happens is things begin dripping off the mangroves. Thick strands of oily grossness. Not oily, slimy grossness. There we go.
And I like to think that while this is going on, I'm just like, with my now skullless head kind of meltingly made into a big mouth, like an O, just going like, wow, like in harmony with it.
I love it. I do like you kind of like vibrating in weird joy as the symphony of mold is unleashed upon the world.
Yeah.
For sure. And after the serpent doesn't even seem to notice this is happening until suddenly it begins jerking around. The entire thing thrashes and screams. No, it doesn't, because it doesn't make any sound. But it's making, boy howdy, my brain, guys.
The sound it's making would be like crashing underbrush and like sucking oil.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Is
the
sound that is happening is the scream of it splashing in the water and screaming as it just destroys everything around it, trying to get rid of these mites, I guess. It's mold, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. I don't know what a little blossom side of mold is, but and that would suck, by the way.
Awful. And then it begins falling apart. Plates of iron just unable to affix itself, and you can see the unclean energy that's holding this thing together weakening as plates fall to the side, and the thing finally just crashes into the water and is submerged. You've solved my oil snake puzzle.
Hey, it's me, your announcer here on Wandering Monster. I just want to take a moment to let you know that Overgrowth is in its last few days of funding on Kickstarter. The link is in the show notes, and it would just be so fantastic if you would join the campaign and help us get to a couple more of those stretch goals. This episode is absolutely how this game should run and look. I'm extremely happy with it, so please, if you're enjoying the show, go on to Kickstarter and back the project. Let's get back to the action.
Having solved the oil snake puzzle, I promptly collapse into a puddle again. I think I'm going to rest up for round whatever's coming next.
And it is definitely coming.
Yeah.
Anything the other two of you would like to do?
I got nothing.
Get Schlorp back into the boat and move on.
Yeah, is the boat still levitating?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so Schlorp fell a good bit.
Yeah, right. But Schlorp is a
but
conjunction.
I gave up my bones first. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so it doesn't matter.
Very strong. Yeah. That's right. I'm not boneless. I just have weird like semi-broken concrete bones.
You're like a
So
stretched
I'm
Armstrong that got
Yeah.
dropped from a 3rd-story building.
I'm an even more disturbing shape now because I'm vaguely human, but like there are both too many joints and joints that don't move enough, and like it's unpleasant. I'll do that instead of puddle because I forgot that I was in water. That would make me hard to pick up.
It would
I
be
didn't
very difficult
forget
to
the
pick you up.
penalty. I did forget why I had it.
You had the penalty because you were in the water.
Yeah, exactly. I remembered the penalty, but not why I had it, which is typical
Fair.
of me.
That's
So is Schlorp a semi-Newtonian fluid at this point?
no, because Schlorp still has bones.
Yes.
Okay.
Broken, jangly ass concrete bones.
But bones nonetheless.
Yes. That
Um,
makes my weird howling skull even more evocative in my mind.
Indeed.
I do enjoy it though. That's a good look.
Yeah. It's one I try to
Um,
maintain IRL as well, you know.
Yes. All right. So now that y'all have done that, the rest of the pathway to the warehouse area is pretty clear. You arrive at the warehouse, and as you're approaching, you see these. God damn. I'm trying to think of evocative language to describe a warehouse, guys. It's a fucking warehouse.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Corrugated steel.
You did nail it.
Yeah. People who are into brutalism would jerk off to it. It's it's a warehouse. What do you fucking want from me? I'm not Ian. It's not gonna tromble.
If only it trombled though. Come on, John.
Yeah.
Make the warehouse tromble.
If you wanted to tromble, you'll have to get a good GM for this.
A warehouse trombles.
I use my gravity powers to cause the warehouse to tromble in front of us.
Very well. It trombles. It trombles so good.
Right.
Nailed it.
I didn't even have to roll for that one.
Nah. No rolls. No rolls for that one anyway. Oh.
Is there any activity around the warehouse, or is it just
So yeah, as you're approaching, you see will-o'-wisps kind of moving around the warehouse. As you get closer, you realize it's not swamp gas, but the flashlights of the overnight guards walking around. There's like probably 3 or 4 of them across this entire giant stretch of land that this entire island. Is it going to cause you problems? No. Do you want to kill them? Probably you're degenerate and violent. Too mean?
fair?
Just facts.
Just facts, baby. But it is up to you to make that call as you park your fan boat on the edge of the island. Now, you are close enough you can actually see a lot of lights to the west.
Okay.
And yes, I just said never eat shredded wheat west. You can eat shredded wheat if you want. It's just how I remember my cardinal directions.
How far are these guys roughly from us?
I mean, they're not clumped together. There's 4 different guys walking this route around the warehouses. So it's the night guard.
Okay. They're kind of just walking around like in rotation or whatever. They're not like buddied up or anything. Okay.
Yeah, they're not buddied up. They're all single.
And
I
these
mean,
are just
they might have partners, but not here.
As far as we can tell from external appearance, which can be deceiving, are they just regular ass human guards?
As far as you can tell, yes. They are not obviously warlocks, although it's rare for anyone to be obviously a warlock unless they've been a warlock for a very long time. But
yeah, I've been into that shit for decades. That's right.
Most people just call us weirdos, Charles.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, there's nothing giving them away as not human. They're definitely not litter bugs. They seem to be completely normal ass dudes. Working here for a paycheck to make ends meet or whatever. Or maybe they're assholes who love this stuff, or maybe they could not pass the minimum psyche val to be a cop, and this is the only gig they could get that allowed them to wear a gun and carry a badge.
Okay. So we should...
Or maybe they got laid off and they figured a night guard would give them plenty of time to read and do writing on the side, and so they got a guard gig because they just didn't know what else to do with their lives. I'm not talking about from personal experience. Shut up.
Yeah.
So, like, on the subject of security guards, what the fuck is that guy's name? He's been in a lot of movies with Seth Rogen. He's more handsome than Seth. No, maybe it is Seth Rogen. I'm thinking.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about
Observe and Report? I think
who's that guy?
No, I think I'm talking
Franco?
about Seth Rogen. Anyway, the point is, there's a movie called Observe and Report that was popular during that.
He's a mall cop, right?
Yeah, right. I rewatched that not that long ago. Not funny at fucking all.
It's really bad.
Deeply disturbing. Like he's bad. He's a psychotic stalker who's like violent and you're supposed to like root for him, and I just hated it. I was like, how the fuck did so many of my coworkers love this shit back in the day? But like,
you should have just rewatched Pineapple Express.
That's on the agenda very soon. I'm watching my way through the Cheech and Chong movies first. By the way, viewers at home, Up in Smoke, great. Second one, not so great. Cheech and Chong's next movie. If you want to see Cocaine Cheech and Crust Punk Chong, that's the movie for you. Otherwise, probably not.
Let us know when you get to Yellowbeard, and we can talk about disappointment.
Okay. So I'm talking to an old pro. Shit. Okay. I just got done with nice streams. I'll let you know.
Okay.
I will say that my movie marathoning has been last night. I watched Demons, and then
it's great.
And then The Beyond.
Oh, so good. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been good.
Those are both good movies, though. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna do a triple feature with Suspiria, and then I saw Suspiria's 3 fucking hours long, and I was like, you know what? Instead, I'm not gonna do that.
It's worth it, dude. It's his best.
I'm going to do it, but I'm not going to do it on the tail end of watching 2 other movies.
No. It was the last movie shot in whatever kind of color that is. Like, what was the first one? Technically, it was the last movie shot in Technicolor, if I'm not mistaken.
That's very cool.
It shows. It's fucking gorgeous. I love that movie. The remake is dope on a conceptual level, the original on a visual level. But yeah, anyway, enough about Suspiria. On with the whacking humans. Alleged humans. You guys want to split up? That's kind of bad form. Let's just kill them quick.
So you've been splitting up yourself so often.
Yeah, that's true. I'm done with that. We've seen how that's gone so far.
So we're gonna do the buddy system. We all pick a human. They're our buddy, and we go and not murder them.
That's totally what I'm saying. No,
I feel like we're on TikTok. You're gonna unalive them.
Oh, so we are definitely unaliving these fellow humans. Got it.
We're playing a game. We can say kill, smash, destroy.
Smash means something else now, Charles. I mean, if you want to smash the human, you can. It'd be a weird thing for Schlorp to do.
I smash all of the humans. Every single one in this world.
I'm gonna use that in the more literal sense. Like, who's the nearest human guard to us? Well, not what's his name, but like how far away is he?
I was gonna say his name is Charles, and he has a dream. his dream is to just be as big a racist as he can possibly be. Like he knows it's wrong, but he wants to know how far he can push himself.
Okay, I'll show him how far I can push his fucking teeth through the back of his brain. Because what I'm gonna do to do that is use my teeth to push his teeth, because I'm going to spit my entire skull at him. Just spit the whole fucking skull right across the distance between us and just smash him in the face with my skull.
You're going to headbutt him as a projectile.
At a distance, yeah.
I love, give yourself a point of badass for sure, because yes, I love that so much. And he hasn't seen you guys yet. He probably heard you turned the fan off, so he has no idea that y'all are there.
He might have heard like a disturbing as I expelled the skull.
But by the time he hears that, it's way too late.
He sees this like grill screaming at him out of the night, like yeah, and boom, lights out. Yeah, yeah.
What kind of whistle so that's gonna be a skull launched at high speed have to have a really interesting whistling noise?
Yeah, I would imagine.
The eye sockets and teeth catching the air.
That might be true, except that I'm going to allow Charles to keep his to vocalize while he's doing it.
Oh, of course.
Because that makes it more fun for me personally.
Yeah. Let's see. So that's going to be is that self or other? I spat my skull.
I'm going to say self.
Hell yeah. All right. Let's get this on. All right. Success. I mean success. I wish. That's 3 and 4 successes.
4 successes. Nice. So for those of you who are interested in playing this game, most humans have a badass or a pain point of 1, and a hit and a HP of 1, because they're normal fucking dudes. What this means is, Charles Schlorp, your skull fires out at top speed and slams into his head and through his head, and then stops. His skull pops out the back of his ruined head, and your skull sits on top of his
I
spinal
was hoping
column,
for that. Yeah.
giving you control of his body.
Yes. All right. On to better things.
You now have a guard meat puppet. However, the top of the guard is just your screaming skull.
Yeah. Actually, though, I want to fix that by putting his hat back on.
You'll need to pick it off the ground and like shake the brains out of it. Yeah, but sure, go right ahead, my friend.
Brains out, blood off, polish the bill, put it right on the skull.
Shit, yes. Yes.
Guys, I'm controlling 2 bodies right now. One's mostly just bones and sludge. But
2 Schlorps, one skull.
The other one probably has a gun.
You know what? You know what we're doing right this second, my friends? We're
fun.
We're redoing the Wizards movie.
Yep.
Let me show you a trick Mom taught me. It's so good.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, dude. This is does anyone else need to do anything, or what's happening?
I was wanting to kill a guard.
Go for it.
I would like to.
There's 3 more running, like no one's heard anything, by the way. Like no one has any idea something has happened.
I would like to
wrap skulls as bullets. Yeah.
I would like to rapidly increase and decrease the gravity on one of the guards, causing air bubbles to form inside their blood.
Oh my God, you're giving him the bends.
Oof.
You're doing what?
I'm increasing the gravity, causing the pressure around him to increase, causing giving him the bends.
He's like giving him decompression.
Yeah, I'm just going to increase the gravity until like blood air bubbles form in his blood and go into his brain.
That's playing nasty. I like it.
Yeah, you know what? I'm giving you a point of badass. I love everything about this.
Playing on human weakness. That's
why I
sport
did
of
it.
kings.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Okay, go ahead and roll.
What's my mother?
This would be environmental actually, because you're not doing this to him. You're doing it to the area around him.
True.
All right, big die. Don't let me down this time. You're the 6th one. That's a 4 on the big one. 5.
Okay.
That's a success.
That's 3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. You do this thing, and it's you like his eyeballs explode.
Yeah.
Because while your intent was to giving him the bends, what you've actually done is given him the explosive decompression.
I'll take it.
Even better.
Yeah, his
all of
eyeballs pop immediately.
All of these I'm picturing as slow motion Fallout kills, you know? Like where the eyes are like popping out in slow motion, the blood spraying everywhere.
Yeah.
Piece of the jaws going this way.
What I'd like you to actually picture is the producer from Metalocalypse. When he at the end of Mermaider, when he's rising to the surface.
Yeah.
That is because that's exactly what is happening. Actually,
he got new better eyes though. That guy got new better eyes. Yeah,
that guy did. This guy's brain.
Something. Yeah.
Dr. Twinkletits. Twinkletits.
No, that was a different.
Oh no, that was a psychologist.
That was the shrink
Dick
who gets robot arms.
Dick
Nubbler.
Dick
Dick Nubbler was his name. Yeah. All the names on that show are fucking phenomenal.
They're very, very good. Hey, Brendan Small, if you want to hang out and be best friends, I'm right here, bud.
That'd be dope.
I also like home movies, so it's not just Metalocalypse that we're
home
all
movies
fans
was
of.
so fucking good. Home movies was the best.
Welcome to Brendan Small's cast.
Yeah, welcome to the Brendan Small fan cast, where we just slob on Brendan Small's knob for an hour. Yeah, I do that to taste the sauce. To taste the recipe, I think is how it's supposed to go, but here we are. But no, this guy's brain shoots out of his eyes like 2 Pringle cans.
That's just a delightful sentence.
And he doesn't he opens his mouth to scream, and his tongue expands and pops in his mouth, filling his lungs with blood before he can get it out. He's having a bad day is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, he dead.
Nice.
There are now 2 guards wandering around the compound, the warehouse. Neither of them are aware of you guys.
Well, I am technically there are 3 things wandering around out there, and I'm one of them.
Yeah, and you put a hat on. You're technically in disguise.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, at a distance.
Scooby-Doo cartoon.
That is, in fact, my plan is to just creep up on one of them and maybe scare, one
this
point of
scene
HP out of him. But
I want to say this scene is why I made this game.
Ask them to follow you to the break room.
That's a good
Did
idea.
Gary always have a screaming skull for a head?
I don't know. I never talked to the guy. He was kind of weird to begin with.
He was he was weirdly racist.
And he microwaved fish for lunch.
Oh, he's a fucking monster.
Fuck that. I will fight him. I will fight this fictional guy that Charles already murdered.
Whose name was also weirdly Charles. So
yeah,
it out with the Charles, in with the other Charles.
Can we kill like Kevin next, please?
I mean, fair.
Oh no, he has a point actually. So Kevin, do you want to do something, or do you want Schlorp to do his thing?
I would like to get out of the boat, and as I'm running towards the warehouse, because typically like mice and rats, they don't run in the open, or they kind of go against like the walls.
They look for cover really quickly.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, as I'm running over there, I'm going to fully transform into a 10-year-old boy size rat.
Okay.
And
like
get to the side of the warehouse, and as I'm running, I'm also like creating a bunch of like foam. I'm foaming at the mouth, and I'm creating a very highly concentrated version of what's that? Tularemia, Tularemia. It's a bacterial infection, but it's like super concentrated. And what I want to do is like as I'm like sneaking up onto the security guard Kevin, which that guy's an asshole anyways. Yeah. I want to, whether I'm sneaking up behind or if I'm just going to pounce him, I want to bite him. And with this concentrated bacterial disease, I want to have all of his joints stiffen up. I want his it says it gives respiratory difficulty. I want him to have like the worst case of asthma, so he can't breathe. He stiffens up, and he just has a mind-splitting headache, and he just seizes up. I mean, and we can also throw in weight loss too. Like he instantly just like it's one of the other things on there. But I mean, I didn't want to get too weird about it. But I just want him to seize up and then just like suffocate himself.
Suffocate.
Yeah.
Okay. So, man, I want you to picture a 10-year-old boy is running at you, and you blink, and it's actually a rat the size of a large dog that's charging at you.
Yes.
Roll self and badass.
Self and badass.
Yep.
I'm going to pick you dice.
Fucking cruel.
I got 1 success.
Okay. So, normally, ties go to the defender.
Oh, could I burn my point of ire for
You absolutely can.
I will do that then. So that will be 2 successes then. Okay.
You get 2 successes. You pounce on this guy. Where do you bite him?
The bonch.
Is he facing me, or is it like, am I coming up behind him?
I'm gonna say he's facing you. He's gonna get a yell. He's gonna finally get a yell out of like, "Hey, there's some kid. What? There's a rat." He says,
"Inner thigh."
Jesus. He's fighting my damn god.
I want to make him feel really weird about his life choices.
You know what? I'm really worried about his life choices now. Yeah, you bite him. Your big honking teeth rip his thigh out. Because I don't know if you've seen a rat's teeth. They're not like a normal ass rat. It's hard to ignore their teeth. You rip his thigh out. Now, the bad news is he's probably going to bleed most of your bacteria out pretty quickly. On the other hand,
he's going to bleed out pretty quickly.
I was going to say, have you ever heard of the femoral artery?
Yeah.
Because you have one of those stuck in your teeth right now. You literally tear his femoral artery out of his body with your teeth.
Beautiful.
And he doesn't have a chance to think, "Oh, I'm going to die." He is bled out before he can form those thoughts. And he is lying in a puddle of blood. You hear from across, like from his walkie-talkie, "Hey, Kev, did you say something about a kid? This is Kevin. No, not Kevin. This is Charles. Charles P. Not Charles B. Man, why do they only hire Charleses to work this?"
Does this mean I killed a
And
John?
you, Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Can I pick up the walkie-talkie and be like, no, I ain't hear nothing over here. What's going on over there? How you doing?
Yeah, you can. You guys see Kevin pick up the phone and go because he has not yet transformed back into a human. He just squeaks.
It seemed like a good idea at the time. I'd still stand by it.
I figured that would be more enjoyable for everyone here than you actually pulling a Han Solo. So, yeah, you shriek and skitter into it. Do you guys want to do anything about that last guard? He is. You can tell from the flashlight bouncing around the buildings that he's probably coming closer.
I so desperately want to do something with him. I'm piloting this meat puppet after all.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
So
I also want you to do something.
Just for funsies, before you go, can I slowly increase the gravity as he gets closer to us, just to slow him down for dramatic effect? It's not going to kill him. It's just going to make it harder for him to get to us.
Yeah, absolutely. I say go for it. Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll environment, Paschke.
Environment plus my badass and it's pass. 3 passes.
Nice.
All right. Yeah. You hear on the walkie-talkie, "Oh, fuck, Kevin, I'm on my way. It just, I don't know, man. I think my boots are getting stuck. Fuck."
So,
yes. He continues to talk. He's talking about how he's hoping to get a new job somewhere out in the city. His wife wants to leave, and he doesn't feel great working for a company like Valdeez. But have to get the kids through college, and art school isn't free, and that's what their little princess wants to do. So he's working this dead end job, but he loves his family despite all that. Anyway, go ahead.
Are you trying to spare him, John?
You get to choose what to do with that information.
He is the one good guard, but you know what? All human in me is more or less gone at this point. So
it's true.
Piloting my meat puppet, I sneak up on him Hanna-Barbera style. So it's like xylophone sound effect, like. And in the meantime, I'm going to use my self power to cultivate a new friend named Pinella Stypticus, a mold that glows in the dark. And I'm going to cultivate a powerful colony of that on my moldy ass skull, so that as I gently take the cap off, I kind of look like mold rider, basically.
Exactly like a Scooby-Doo villain.
That's has unearthly light gleaming. So what I'm going to do is sneak up real close, and then with a very human hand that he should be able to recognize, just tap him on the shoulder. And as he turns around, I'm just going to go in his face with my screaming, glowing skull where his friend's head used to be. And my hope is that this will induce coronary arrest. So that's a self-cast. I'm relying on his bum ticker to see if this will work. All right,
he's under extra pressure because of the gravity. So if he has a bum ticker, it's extra bum right now.
Yeah,
I'm helping.
That does
yes,
actually. Yeah. 1 success, 3 successes, 4 successes.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's Princess ain't going to art school, I'm afraid. Actually, you know what? I bet his wife has a great insurance policy on him.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna make oodles of money off of his untimely, because this looks natural. It's just a heart attack on the job, probably job related. The other guys are dead. So, it might even pay out double, in which case, his wife can mourn and then move on with her life, find a new beautiful man or woman to marry. And maybe Princess will make some great art now that she's been properly traumatized.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breeds creativity.
Yeah. You were barking up the wrong tree with me, John. I'm sorry.
He turns and sees your face and takes several steps back. Oh God, what the? Oh, druids.
No shit. I bet the wife and kid part. Well, maybe that was a cover identity. I don't know, but yeah, cool.
It's the art school thing. He could afford to send the kid to art school.
Yeah.
He raises his hand, and a shimmering shield of fireflies forms between you and him.
Cool.
Are there more than one of us here?
Oh, this is an unexpected ally. Yeah. Yeah. So first of all, I'm gonna, shake his hand using my weird zombie human hand, and say yes, there are. I trust a guy who can summon fireflies. I mean, they're legitimate fireflies. They're not like fire.
They're you can see their little buggy faces. They're definitely fireflies.
Those are natural. So I'm gonna call the gang as best I can with my screaming skull to go, friend, or something like that. Meanwhile, my moldy ass body is gonna be slogging its way over from the boat to reattach my skull to it, so I'm gonna be like Swamp Thing fucked Ghost Rider and they had a badass baby.
Love it.
Yeah, me too.
He kind of looks at. Do the two of you come join Schlorp?
Yeah, I would say so.
So I suppose the swamp called you.
I'm basically only capable of shrieking answers, like some sort of hell parrot at this point. But I'll leave it to the others to answer.
I'm still in rat form, so
hovering 6 feet above him. Yes, we were called here to do what it needs to be done.
Great. Well, I suppose my everything is fucked now. I've been infiltrating Valdeez in an attempt to get all the information I can about their various warlocks.
Oh, we blew his up.
You blew his up.
Yeah.
Ah, boo.
No, that's all right.
But obviously things have gone too far out of hand here. He grunts and massive gossamer wings push out of his back.
Fuck yeah. Ugh. Rad.
And his skin begins glowing the same way yours is right now.
Cool.
Schlorp. I am not great at violence.
we sure are.
And he kind of looks at you, Schlorp. And I still have some humanity to lose that I'd rather not lose just yet.
What a bitch.
He looks at all of you, shakes his head. But if the swamp is called, the swamp is called, and I'm not going to argue with it.
Yep. The wizard cops got to get out of the way. We're taking direct action. I don't say that. I'm just thinking that.
Yeah. With all that in mind, do your best not to be too destructive to the uncorrupted people. There's there's some good people living at the edge of the swamp. That's not their fault.
And we did spare. Didn't we spare that first town?
You totally did.
Yes, we did.
We did.
Okay.
Yeah, Tony, he gave us the shirts.
Yeah. So
Are
at
you
this
wearing your
point-
shirt? Valdeez
Yeah.
nuts.
No.
Delightful.
Yeah. So I would just probably somewhere inside my Merc, I still have the T-shirt, and I would just show it to him and give him a thumbs up or a pseudopod thumb up.
Pseudopod
And-
bum.
Yeah. Yeah.
Delightful. Sacks of shit. Ruining my op.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's, obviously he's just like, son of a bitch. I worked so hard on this. But it's like, okay, well, guess
Well, I
it's
hope he
on to
got
the
some-
next.
I hope he got some good intel because we're taking this one the fuck out. Yeah.
Where's the
He-
sweet spot?
The sweet spot? You mean where should you actually be concentrating your efforts instead of on an empty building? Is that what you're asking me right now? Floaty McFloaterson?
I increase the gravity.
He's a snarky little firefly.
Yeah.
Like, don't necessarily. Well, you do what you want, but
I'm not crushing him like a bug, but I'm increasing the gravity.
Go ahead and roll. You do need to beat his badass, though.
Fine. We'll see here. That came out on accident. I'm keeping it though.
Yeah.
Well, that's 2. That's 2.
so it just gives you another sneering glance, probably.
Yeah, he kind of sneers at you and buzzes his wings. You feel a non-inconsequential number of bugs land on your back, and he raises an eyebrow as if to say, "Are you sure you want to go, buddy?"
Let's not antagonize the friendlies, if possible. But
I'm going to.
I think Schlorp communicates that by
Yeah.
kind of like lightly slapping to Derek on the arm and being like, "Don't be fuck ass" or something like that. Yeah.
That would be fun.
I love
He
Schlorp's new
started
voice,
it.
by the way.
It's very good. This gentleman pulls out a notepad and looks at it and says, "All right, well, just do me a favor and don't head to Boston anytime soon. I'm going to be working there, and I'd rather not waste another 2 years."
The
And,
three of us can make that promise. Yeah, for sure.
and pops his wings and begins to fly off.
Yep.
Hmm.
He's classy nature wizard. We're sloppy nature wizard.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to be so. Yeah.
How close does he look to the Mothman when he flies off? I'm just
Not
curious.
terribly.
I'm imagining something a lot more like you might imagine the Tooth Fairy looks.
I can see that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he does kind of have a Tinkerbelly aura about him. If Tinkerbell was serving cunt all the time.
I was thinking more of like Arthur from The Tick.
No. I
Oh.
mean, I can see that, but no, this guy is this guy has the same
He's half
energy.
bug. Yeah.
Yeah. He has the same like energy output as RuPaul. Like,
Cool.
Okay, so a
Digging it.
classy Arthur from The Tick.
yeah, exactly.
I'm
Yeah.
with you.
Okay.
But yeah, your bug friend has left the building, so to speak. Oh, sorry. Let's rewind a little bit because you actually asked him a question, and he's going to answer
can
that
we
before he
find
flies
him?
off.
Okay, cool.
If you actually want to deal with this place, you should probably take down their headquarters. Their shitty ringleader never leaves. And until he's dead, they're going to keep destroying this swamp. So kill him, rip up all their oil drills, and slowly the swamp will reclaim what is its.
I know a certain
Good luck.
somebody. I know a certain somebody who might be able to do that in one fell swoop if he lets her rip.
Ratthew, do your thing.
I'm picturing this like little rat kid just like.
It's a bad idea.
Well, no, like I legitimately, Ratthew, if you wanted to be the one to do it, I bet you could summon a rat kaiju. Which would be appealing. But I also like a.
I would never, as a GM, I really wouldn't support that. But as John Baltisberger, the kaiju obsessed motherfucker, I absolutely 100% support that.
Has there been a rat kaiju in a Godzilla movie?
Not in things that are rat adjacent.
Yeah.
But there have been, I want to say, in either Ultraman or definitely in Power Rangers.
Right. Okay.
But we're not here to talk about
Shonen Riders. Yeah. All right.
And
let's so to Derek, do you want to do the honors?
Honors of what? As you see, like everything growing dark as light does not escape the direction of their headquarters.
Can we boost his powers somehow? Is there
can I take a 20 to form a black hole?
You can't take a 20 to form a black hole. But if you can figure out a way for all three of you to pull your powers, I will allow it.
Okay, let me think. Performance enhancing mold. Well,
can you make anything that'll get me so high I perceive a black hole being there?
You can definitely do that.
I mean, yeah, but I don't think we're orcs, so that won't work, unfortunately. By the way, well, we won't get distracted. I'll ask you that after the show, John. I tell you what, let me.
If I could increase the gravity around your spore particles, and you could control them to have them swirl around things, collecting more mass themselves, that we could then direct towards there and have them all like coalesce.
Yeah, like so a mass to feed the gravity. Yeah. I can do that. I can generate a shitload of mold.
All right.
Like what's the most? I don't know. What's a mold with heft? Let's think of one.
I know a guy in college.
Oh,
hang on a second. Yeah, heaviest mold. The honor goes. No, that's for baking. Blah 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 blah. The largest organism on Earth is a fungus, which isn't a mold. Mold for bullets, blah 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 blah. How to handle your heavy smell? Okay. Mainly it's looking like it's teaching me about bullets. So let's that's fascinating for other reasons, Charles related, that I'll definitely be keeping that tab open. But for the moment, let's just say good old fashioned like how about is yeast a mold or a bacterium?
It's a mold.
Yeah. So let's just do yeast, man. Good old fashioned yeast. I'm gonna summon a shit ton, and by that I mean like several actual tons of yeast as quickly as possible.
So
that's gonna be
you're going to add your roll to Paschke's roll. As
dope.
This is all in service of creating this black hole.
All right.
Do you want to send some rats to their doom, or do you got something
Ratthew,
else?
do you want to summon a rat kaiju to deal with the oil refineries?
Yeah.
And oil drills.
That I can then increase the gravity around of.
If you will allow it, I would be more than happy to.
We are at the last 10-15 minutes of this adventure.
All right.
I would normally not allow a Deus Ex of this way,
magnitude.
but kaiju are where my heart lives.
Yeah.
Well, and in this game, you're playing to the GM, so
and I get to decide. Not only am I the GM, I'm the game designer. I get to decide what flies.
So with that, while he's doing these rolls, I would be more than happy to summon every ounce of sorcery that's in my 10-year-old rat body to form the largest rat kaiju I possibly could. Thick, prehensible tail, claws, teeth, screeching, sonically screeching, screech, just like.
So like its power is
the right
a sonic.
phrase.
Well, no, its power is like a sonic shriek. So it probably directs its little ratty head, and it might even be too like high for you to hear or whatever, but it rips you to shreds.
Yeah,
that's cool. Ultrasonic rat shriek. Yeah,
exactly. And I will start ripping apart oil derricks and
go ahead and roll. Everyone make your rolls.
4 successes from me.
I already rolled.
Paschke.
I have the 1 failure, and then I was going off of environment, right? John,
you're going off of what?
Environment.
Oh yeah.
Cool. Then I did need to roll all these dice. That is 5 successes.
So that's 9 between us.
Yep. And how about you? How about you, Kevin?
I got 3 successes on that one.
All right, so 12 successes total for this insanity. Got it.
Rat kaiju black hole apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Cajun fried rat kaiju black hole apocalypse. There's the name of the episode.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, friends.
Hi.
You pour every ounce of yourself into this action. All 3 of you.
Of my essence.
Of your will, of your rage, of your disgust, of your despair. Everything that makes us who we are. You funnel into taking down this devastating monstrosity of human achievement. Schlorp, you go first.
All right.
No.
Okay, you're gonna narrate it.
When I say you go, I don't mean tell me what happens. I mean what was once. What was your human name?
It was Schlorp. Oddly enough, but I used to be just a hermit.
Schlorp,
everything that was
Dugregor wails in the back of your head as it is fed into this spell.
Hell yeah.
Filling the air with yeast that slowly gloms together and gains more and more mass.
Smells like good beer and Wonder Bread.
Before you know it, Dugregor, the part of you that is Dugregor, tries to wrestle that power away, tries to stop it.
I ain't having that.
And just can't. Dugregor is nothing now. Yep. There's only the Squalid. There's only the mold. There's only the thing that lives inside the shell that was once Dugregor. And let's face it, that shell was gone long ago.
Yep.
The rest of you don't notice this because you're so filled into your own experience, your own magics. To Derek, you concentrate on pinpointing all of this mass on a single dot out in the distance, in the center of that headquarters buildings. You can feel it crumpling around your black hole. You can feel all matter being condensed into nothingness. And it brings you so much joy. And you just want to experience that. And so the part of to Derek that cared about anything thinks about how much peace there must be in that emptiness, in that void, in that nothing. And you don't care about the swamp anymore. You don't care about saving anything. The void and the nothingness is the only thing you care about. The building may not have been completely demolished, but everything in it was definitely crushed. But you don't care anymore. You angle upward and fly into space, leaving the atmosphere and the earth behind to become one with the vast, empty void. One more well.
Nihilist Dr. Manhattan. The world needs, well, I mean, space needs Nihilist Dr. Manhattan. That's dope as shit.
Ratthew, you're not paying attention to any of this. Your brain is screaming in pain as you work to control this conglomerate creature you've summoned. Its will is stronger than yours. It's stronger than you. It's too big. You know you fucked up. You don't want to die. You don't want to dissolve into nothing, but you can feel the rage of this creature hollowing you out. It's doing what you want it to do. It's tearing up the oil rigs. It's destroying the holdings of this company, but you can't hold it. You're losing control. You feel your body slipping away, and you feel your consciousness moving into this massive creature you've summoned. You are becoming one with this rat kaiju. But the part of you that had human thoughts, that's also left behind with your now dead body. You are the rat kaiju.
What's the rat kaiju's new name?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Kevin, do you want to name it before you lose all essence?
Fuck, I don't know.
It doesn't need a name. It is a force.
God, I wasn't prepared to become a kaiju.
Always be prepared to become a kaiju one of my games.
Come back to me on that before we go. I will find something.
Schlorp?
I would like to add yes, do continue.
Schlorp, you see two human shapes in this desiccated, destroyed swamp. One is flying upwards towards the stars. The other is kind of standing there, writhing back and forth. All you know is that they are human-shaped, and you hate them. That is the only thought in what can loosely be called your head.
More of a collective of cellular chaos at this point. Yeah.
Yeah.
Humans destroy is yeah. And also to some extent swamp protect and promote. Yeah. I'm probably gonna unfortunately attack Ratthew. I don't have control over my own consciousness anymore.
Ratthew's once human body is incapable of defending itself, as is essentially a hollow shell at this point.
Yeah. That's probably what would happen, Ratthew. I'd probably absorb your remaining human corpus. Not in an aggressive way. No.
You're not using it anymore.
Yeah, and also I must consume all human things. So eating stuff is probably going to be my primary. I think I've become the blob of the swamp. So anyone who comes into my swamp is going to meet the blob and meet a similar fate to the blob's victims. Oh shit, that's what I'm going to watch tonight. That's a good movie, the '88 version.
I think Nezir, which is Rathew's kaiju form now, would almost I actually kind of stole that from something else, but we'll talk after the show. Will actually accept Schlorp's taking over the form, with the thought of having some sort of symbiotic relationship so that we could sort of, well, be a team together and still kind of go on wacky adventures.
Well, rats do belong in the swamp, right? Like rat kaijus.
Yeah, and yeah, you when
So
you
I'm
see
not-
the rat kaiju,
right,
you don't have
So-
any like negative thoughts. It makes
here's
sense.
the thing. You've seen Annihilation, right? No?
I
Cricket?
have.
Nobody? Okay. Do you remember the ending where the thing tries to form a human to interact with what's her name? I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the human vessel. I'm gonna fill it with my like weird moldy jelly, and it's gonna be like the half sentient go between and translator between the rat kaiju and me when we need to team up to fuck up some shit in the swamp. And other than that, we'll probably stick to different sectors of Louisiana. But we'll have some Mighty Marvel team ups in the future, I bet. It'll pretty dope. But we both just become NPCs is the important thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The three of you have
all three of us, yeah.
In trying to end this quickly, with throwing away all thoughts of throwing away all thoughts of preservation of the self and all thoughts of subtlety,
ego death.
There's definitely an ego death here for all of you. But what I was going to say is, through ignoring the balance between man and nature,
we overshot.
You have lost yourselves and become creatures known as the evolved. You are no longer in any way, shape, or form human. You don't have any human thoughts. All you care about is destroying anything that threatens the natural sanctity of this swamp. Friends, this has been Overgrowth. And if you're watching this before June 11th, you still have a chance to back this game. It is on Kickstarter right now. Just look up Overgrowth. You won't miss the cover because it's very obviously Simone Tometa. It's only Overgrowth TTRPG on there. And we have already hit 3 stretch goals. We're at 1,800% funded. It's a great game. It's going to be a blast. And you can go on crazy adventures like this. This adventure, the full thing, not the everyone becomes a god at the end version, is in the book, as well as a second adventure where you get to take your natural rage into a fucking human city.
Hell yeah.
So please go back it. It's going to be great. And thank the 3 of you for playing Overgrowth with me.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
I'll also add something to the table. If we unlock our next stretch goal, I promise to show Bud on Twitter on Maine. It'll be behind a sensitivity content filter, so it won't just be spamming you with it. But if we unlock our new stretch goal and you want to see my butt, I'm gonna post Bud.
Now, Charles, is this because of the new guidelines that have come out recently, and you just want to take advantage of that?
Not entirely.
Do I need to shut up and stop giving you away?
No. I pay very little attention to the guidelines.
That's fair. Yeah, as you should.
Yeah.
Friends, thank you so much for joining us on this consensual journey we call Wandering Monster. My name is John Baltisberger.
I am Charles R. Bernard.
I'm Kevin Welch.
I'm Mr. Paschke.
We will be back, I think in 2 weeks, actually, when we will be playing Warhammer 40k, Wrath and Glory. We'll see you then, friends. Have a great one.
What's a Warhammer?